Like, I've been watching your channel for many years, and I'm not trying to kiss ass here. I'm just genuinely being,
Please,
honest
no, go
about
for
it.
it. I'm
I've been
ready.
I've been watching your channel for many years, and I think what keeps me coming back, like you mentioned earlier, you're not a virtuoso. You're not probably the most knowledgeable people. Like, just every YouTuber are like that. But what keeps me coming back is that you have a smile on your face almost throughout the whole video. And I'm not someone who can smile easily. So when I see someone else that smiles and looks like they enjoy themselves, I kind of find myself being kind of cheered up, if you will. And I don't know if your audience is like me, but it's one of the reasons why I've been following your channel for a long time. You look like you're enjoying yourself. And by talking to you today, I can see you're authentic. Like, it's not bullshit. You're not putting up like this fake persona of a nice guy. You are a nice guy. It comes across like right now as we're talking. So I think that might be another element of why you have the success that you have. You're a nice guy. People know not to step on your toes. You don't have the overreaching, and you're knowledgeable. If you take all of that, it explains why your channel hit 100K.
Thanks. I learned probably the hard way that you have to be yourself in life. And as a dad now, I tell my kids this every day: whatever you do, do it as yourself. Don't be and this. Luckily, we can talk about these days. But when I was growing up, there was no advice about any of that. You had to just get into work, and get into life, and get into education, and get results. But now, and that's still important. But what I believe that whatever you approach in life, approach it as yourself. And I spent many years of my teens and early to mid 20s trying to be someone else, trying to be cool, or trying to be someone that I thought I wanted to be. And the older I got, the more like a child version of myself I went back to becoming. And I don't mean that, I like coloring in and playing Lego, which I do, but for a different reason now. But I'm back to the real me that I was when I was young, and I don't know. I went through years of depression. I still suffer from mental health issues, and I talk about that on the channel as well. And that, again, is an element that I like to bring in, because as creatives, people that watch my channel also, I think, suffer and are more sensitive more than non-creatives. If there is such a thing as a non-creative? But it's important to me just to be me, because my kids are just outside that door. You can often hear them screaming in my videos. And I don't want to be the guy on camera and then come out and be a different guy, because that's confusing.
Yeah.
It is an amplified version, to be fair. There's a touch more energy on camera because you have to be.
Yeah.
But it is at the core, it's just me being myself. And sounds like an advice seminar. It's me being myself and doing it every day, 24/7.
Yeah, but obviously the main difference is because, you said you bring these things, especially the topic of mental health, you bring that into the whole game, into the whole. It's part of your message. One thing is very, very clear: if you would be a creative in front of a live audience, I doubt that the chance that someone would dare to stand up and like shout all these things at you that people write and then leave as a comment is next door to zero. Simply because people don't have the balls to stand up and tell maybe one guy out of a million that happens to be in the audience, like one of these so-called hecklers, that like to bother people and then get thrown out because, they're just bothering people. But it is so much easier for the so-called keyboard warrior to just, look at something. And just before we started the recording, I had a conversation with Jonathan about this. It's like, it's super easy to just, write something and like poop it out there. People wouldn't tell you that stuff in real life, in a real life conversation, because they just, they don't have the courage. It's so much easier to hide, to hide behind a username and then suddenly you look at the comments in your channel, and it was like, and somebody, I don't know, Dick Waver 69 writes,
Oh, not that guy. Screw that
this
guy.
Fuck that guy,
again.
man.
Exactly. Writes, you can't even play, you suck, blah, blah, blah. And I know for a fact that because it is not that kind of direct feedback, people take it much more seriously and much more personally than if it would be, if somebody tells you, you suck, was like, whatever, bye. But for some reason, it seems to hurt more if it happens in the comment section of somewhere. And it's, I think it's an interesting phenomenon.
If there are two things that I'd like to talk about there. One, the first one is that these keyboard warriors, trolls, whatever you want to call them, they're also people. And when I read those comments, I think, okay, there's something wrong with that person, or that person's having a bad day, and yeah, it's really easy to take it out on some fluffy-haired guy on the internet. Why not? Because we're never going to meet in real life, and as you said, if we meet in real life, they're probably not going to be the angry person that they are with a keyboard. I liken it to road rage, and getting angry with other drivers. I love shouting at other drivers on the motorway, on the autobahn. My kids and my fiance, they laugh at me, and they sometimes tell me off because I'm like, "Look at this prick! What do you think you're doing?" And I don't feel that way at all. But it is quite cathartic to get that out.
Yeah.
And most of the time I am joking, and there was a period where I took it a bit seriously and thought, oh, this is becoming the new me, so I better stop. But yeah, it's a road rage kind of thing where the worst thing that can happen is you pull up next to them at the traffic lights, oh, dear, sorry. Just keep looking straight ahead, So there is that element to it that you're never going to see these people ever again. And if you do in real life, you're probably not going to approach them. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is that these comments did not always bounce off me,
Yeah, I know.
It's a sad thing that people that put their lives online have to go through. And I actually had a meeting with YouTube safety, whatever they name it, content creator safety and security department.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. And we had a big chat about how it is to be a creator, and they wanted to know if YouTube are doing enough and if they're doing the right thing, and what's my favorite method of dealing with people who are being negative. And it's some advice to any content creator out there on YouTube. There is a hide this person from the channel button.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the most amazing creation ever, because the person that, if they're going nuts at you, they think that they're being read or heard or listened and posted, and as far as they're concerned, their comments are going on the video, and they're not. They're just hidden forever. And I think that's hilarious. I find that very, very funny. So that's funny. For me. That's how I deal with someone if they really go too far. But frankly, the channel is not negative at all. But they stand out, Frank, as you said, because most of the people are really cool. And then when you get a naughty person, they stand out.